Hi, welcome to my channel Takniki Gyan Guru. Today we will discuss the Terraform. So the question is, what is Terraform? So Terraform is a tool by which we can use this tool to create the infrastructure in cloud or on-prem as well. So what is infrastructure? The infrastructure is just like in on-prem, you want some virtual machines, right, to deploy your application. So you have some virtual machines, some networking, some switch router, or lot of things, right? So all these infrastructure as a data center will be set up by the networking guys on your data center, where all the hard disk or memory or CPUs, all the data center will be hosted. And if you requested, the networking or admin guy will create one of the virtual machine from the data center and give it to you, right? So there are a lot of issue comes in when expand the infrastructure. If the infrastructure they have, the data center is limited, right? So they won't give the RAM or CPU. They have the limited resources, right? So that is the problem. So in cloud, there is no issue on expanding your infrastructure. It is on demand. When you request, it will automatically create the infrastructure for you, right? Or you can create your own infrastructure. You don't need to depends on somebody who can create the infrastructure for you, right? So the Terraform is a way or is a tool that will help you to create infrastructure in cloud, also in on-prem. Terraform is also called, sometime we call as infrastructure code. So infrastructure code is basically we create our infrastructure using code, right? So there is two way to create infrastructure in cloud or on-prem. Either you can click some button, give some details and create the infrastructure or create your application environment into cloud, or you can create through automated fashion. So when you create the automatically the infrastructure, then you have to use the IAC, infrastructure as a code, and that is Terraform. There are a lot of other tools are also available, but this is the most popular tool for creating infrastructure in automated fashion, right? So we have some key feature and concept of Terraform. So let's understand. So declarative configurations, right? So declarative configuration is basically, you can declare the configuration in a few steps, right? So you have to create a file, then you have to create some blocks in the and you can declare the configuration, like if you want the EC2 machine, or you want to database, or you want to some other resources, then you have to declare it, right? You don't need to step by step mm, specify something and it will create automatically, right? So or create automatically, then you have to run it again to create separate infrastructure. So here you can define the configuration for each resources, and then you can run it, right? Or you can apply this configuration, it will create the configuration. And after that you can also suppose you have created two virtual machine, two EC2 machine, and you want to create one more after creating the infrastructure, then you can make the changes in the count. Like earlier it was two, now you make it three. Then the Terraform will automatically pick up the code and says, okay, earlier it was two, now it is three. Then one more instance needs to be created, then it will automatically create another instance in your workspace, right? So this way you have to declare the configuration. That is called declarative configuration. Next is provider. So provider is Terraform can deploy your infrastructure in different cloud. So if you say it will deploy to Azure, AWS, Google, or some other digital oceans, a lot of cloud provider is there, Alibaba, right? So when you define, you have to define for which cloud you want to provisioning your infrastructure. So these cloud provider is called provider for the Terraform. So configure you have to configure which cloud provider you want to uh, you know create the infrastructure. So that is called the provider. Next is the SCL. SCL is HashiCorp configuration language. HashiCorp, this product, the Terraform is created by the HashiCorp, right? So they build the Terraform using the HashiCorp configuration language. So it is easy to read and write, right? So we create the infrastructure code using some a YAML or JSON file, right? So that is the SCL. And also the Terraform has two different flavors, like the open source, right, also called Terraform community. If you can see, the Terraform community is basically open source. That is open source means that your Terraform is purely free, right? Anybody can use it. You don't need to pay anything, right? That is the Terraform. It is very basic. It will give the basic features for Terraform. You can create infrastructure. You have to code everything. You have to code by anything. It will not provide any UI or something. It is some command line, the application, Terraform application, where you have to code and then you have to execute it. So mostly the people who has learning, they are using the Terraform community. And Terraform online is basically it is the Terraform, but it has a lot of different features and it is deployed into cloud, right? They are maintaining everything. They maintain all the infrastructure maintained, but you need to just subscribe and you need to pay something to get this feature Terraform on online. So you need not to worry about the infrastructure, right? Everything will be taken care by the Terraform, the HashiCorp. And third one is the Terraform Enterprise. Terraform Enterprise is basically, it has lot of features compared than the community version and the online, and this can be deployed into your environment, right? Whether it is on your data center or cloud in your EC2 box or something, right? You can install it and then use it, and it has some UI. You need not to worry about something. All these features are coming into your UI, so you can just click something, create your resource. You can push your code into some repository. It will pull up the repository from there. Also Terraform online will give these almost same features, but little more and less compared than both of the flavor. More features like resource blocks is basically when you create a file, right? Terraform file in JSON or YAML, then you have to create small block for each resource, right? Let's say you are creating an EC2 machine, right? So in EC2 machine you have to create one block, resource block, and you have to mention it is for the EC2, and give it the details like how many EC2 you want, the EC2 name of the instance, or do you have some BPC connected, or some other resources, right? If that is then, or you want to install something when it is created, the same time you want to install or configure something, so that script also you can mention here in this block, right? That is called resource. You can create multiple resource like network, database, or containers, or or AI sealed. A lot of resources are available, right? So I have already shown you, discuss what is cloud. So those resources we can create through the configure through the resource block. The state management we have already discussed. When you create your infrastructure, that will create under the cloud or data center. Now it will keep your session into backend, right? So whatever you have done, that will be keep in repository. Now it will automatically, when you mention, okay, you want to increase the resources, like earlier you have created two EC2 machine, now you want to create three, then it will automatically add one more, because you keep your record, you know it is recording your whatever you are doing. So that is called state, right? And then later on, if you want more resource to be added, it will say these resources already added, but you want to add more resources, right? So it will, if you mention more resources, it will add it. If you want to delete, you mention the delete, it will delete from your existing infrastructure. So that is called state. And state can be stored into your local machine, or you can store somewhere else, right? Like suppose sometimes something happen in your machine, right? Your state will be gone. Then your infrastructure will be as it is. You can't do anything. In that case, mostly in production, we put our state into somewhere like in AWS. We push our state file into the some buckets, or S3 buckets, or and the information about this state we put into some database like Mongo database, or some other database also. This is plan and apply. This is the command or the process where when we create the our code file, infrastructure file, and then we uh, type the plan, Terraform plan, then it will give you the blueprints, right? What are you going to create? It will show you how your machine you are creating, the resource are you are creating, and the database you are creating. So it will give you a blueprint where it says whatever things or resource you are creating, that will give you a whole blueprint of this, right? And then when you apply it, whatever you have created your in your file, it will show you plan, and the same plan will be executed into your cloud to create the infrastructure. And later on, once you again update it, then again run the plan command, and it will show you whatever changes you made, right? You created or deleted, that changes will be show you in the plan, and then after apply, the changes will be made into the infrastructure. Next one is modules, right? The modules is basically encapsulate your configuration. Means you have created a lot of configurations, like you created the EKS or EC2s or a lot of things, and you want to just show something, right? Only the I want to say, okay, I want to create the EC2. You don't want to show you all these infrastructure. You can keep your configuration somewhere else, and you just access those configuration using some reference, right? That modules, right? The code is somewhere else. That is called modules, right? These modules can be created by you or somewhere else. Someone has created some modules, they put into the registry, right? You can just mention the module name, it will automatically pick up from the registry, and create the infrastructure as per the module, right? Next one is Terraform registry. That is also, as I said, module, right? These modules will be available into the Terraform registry. A lot of resource, people who create the modules and put into the registry, and those registry will be helpful to the people who is, creating the infrastructure, and they are not very much familiar of these codes and all. Then they can directly click or give the reference of those modules that is stored into the Terraform registry. Now this video will end, and if you have any questions, queries, please comment. We will definitely come back with the solutions. And if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and suggest whatever you want. We will definitely work and give you the solutions. Thank you so much.